Welcome back to the Lausitzring, round 5 of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland, the second race of the weekend. Yesterday, Keegan Masters became the newest winner in this legendary series. He became the first ever South African to stand on the top step of the podium. And South Africa became the 18th winning nation since the start of this series back in 1990. It was a spectacular battle of the gladiators, 3 drivers going at it hammer and tongs. It was Flint Schuring who crossed the line first, but the stewards got involved, dropped him down to 3rd place, and it meant that Keegan Masters took that first win, with Marcus Armand finishing in 2nd place and Flint Schuring in that 3rd. Guess what? For the sequel today here at the Lausitzring, it's the same 3 drivers at the front of the grid. Flint Schuring with another pole position, the 10th pole position in 42 starts in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland, his 5th of the season. He's got 8 wins under his belt in total, 4 of them this season. But the newest winner, Keegan Masters, yesterday was showing a real extraordinary turn of speed in the latter part of the race. The Schumacher CLRT car that Flint Schuring drives has been the car to beat all season long, but yesterday Keegan Masters really took the battle to Flint, and Marcus Armand in the 3rd place on the grid. He and Keegan Masters, both for Proton competition, are showing great pace here at the Lausitzring this weekend. The win yesterday for Keegan Masters means that he's in 4th place in the points standings, just 18 points adrift of the championship leader, Alex Tauscher. And Alex has qualified 4th on the grid for this race. He's got an 8-point lead over Flint Schuring. Flint had a dreadful start to the season, but has come back with a vengeance and has been closing in on Alex Tauscher pretty steadily throughout the season. And yesterday, but for that penalty, may well have been at the top of the points. But it's all about keeping it between the lines. It's all about not getting on the wrong side of the stewards. And it's all about bringing it home for those points. So Tauscher does lead Flint Schuring by 8 points. Tauscher has a clean 150. Theo Erverhaus, the early season leader of the championship, remember, he kicked off his campaign with back-to-back wins in Imola, is 3rd in the championship. He is just 12 points back. Chester Kiefer in the number 11, the 2nd of the Schumacher CLRT cars, had a torrid day yesterday, a puncture relegating him to the back of the pack, and his run of wins in the rookie category came to an end. And it was 2nd in the rookie standing, Sam Yongyan, who took his 2nd rookie win of the season. And he closes to within 7 points of Chester Kiefer in the rookie championship. Caleb Sumich equaled his best score yesterday with a good finish, and he is 36 points adrift of Chester Kiefer in the rookie standings. In the Pro-Ams, it's Mikael Esman who leads the way. Søren Spreng took his 5th Pro-Am win of the season yesterday, but Mikael Esman, the more consistent of the two, leads Søren Spreng by 6 points in the Pro-Am standings. We're just looking at the drivers. They're sat on the grid in this baking sunshine as we look at Matheus Ferreira from Brazil, still searching for his first ever win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. He's had 1 podium so far. It was a 3rd place earlier on in the season at Spa-Francorchamps, and he would dearly love to get back onto the podium and onto the top step as well. Daniel Rose has been an improving force as this season has gone on. The driver from Sweden, another one for Team Proton, had a 13th place yesterday, and also a 3rd place, no, I beg your pardon, not a 3rd place in rookies. He's not a rookie. I don't know where that came from, but certainly a 13th place to go with a 9th place at Zandvoort last time out. So some really good scores from the 88 car. Oh, get it right. There's Gustav Bergstrom. He is a rookie, and yesterday it was a non-finish for him in the Team Proton car. So he will also be looking to improve 7th place has been his best score of the season so far, and that was at the Red Bull Ring. I think the heat is getting to all of us here. It is very, very hot. All the people are saying, oh, you Brits, you're not used to this hot weather, are you? Joe Warhurst would probably agree with that. He has been cooking, and he got us 8th place yesterday, which is a pretty solid haul of points. 5th place, he's had a couple of those this season so far, and that is the best he's had so far, and he's itching to get onto the podium himself, and surely that is not going to be too long. That was the man who stood on the top step of the rookie podium yesterday. Sam Yongyan, I've mentioned it several times throughout the season. He had a virus over the winter, and we're talking a serious virus that took him off his feet for a couple of months. The recovery has been incredibly slow, and he is having to throw everything at it to get into full fitness. He still finds mobility a real challenge and has to do a lot of resting. And I spoke to him earlier this morning, and he says in this heat, it is just survival. You get through the first half of the race, and then you just got to survive and hope that the checkered flag comes. To do that and to win for the rookies yesterday, I just said to him, if you can do it in these conditions with these odds against you in terms of health, think of what it's going to be like when you're back to full health, because he really is very rapid in the number 65 Team 75 Bernhard car. You can see the cars on the grid. You can see the heat haze. You saw from your graphic at the beginning of this broadcast that we are in the region of 30 degrees centigrade. We had some thunderstorms during the middle and later in the day yesterday, and they're forecast to come in again later today. Certainly no issues with that during this race, during the next half an hour or so, but it is scorching hot. And the other big story amongst the drivers has been looking after the tyres, keeping them in the window, because in this temperature the tyres really do overheat very, very quickly. As we look again at the driver classification, Alex Tauscher starting from the 2nd row, and it's consistency that's got him up to the top of those points. He's only had one win this year, but he's been scoring consistently. In fact, yesterday's 5th place was his worst score of the season so far, and he will be looking to improve on that, maybe get on the podium, because he knows that his main rivals in the championship, in the shape of Flint Scheuring, Theo Overhaus and Keegan Masters especially, are bearing down on him, and they're all with a shout of the championship. Marcus Armand, who's 5th in the championship with 104 points, 46 points adrift, is not doing a full season of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. He's done every round so far, but my understanding is that he's going to be missing a couple of rounds to focus on Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, where he is leading that championship. So he's not so much of an issue in the championship standing. So it really is the top 4 at the moment that we're looking at. Alex Tauscher, Flint Scheuring, Theo Overhaus and Keegan Masters, and they are all at the sharp end of the grid. You throw in Marcus Armand and Chester Kiefer, and we are in for another spectacular race. If this is anything like yesterday's race, then you really need to hold on to your hats. We had an insane race yesterday, 3 abreast at times, fighting for the lead. It was a move by Flint Scheuring into turn 1 in the latter stages of the race that attracted the attentions of the stewards. He would say it was firm and hard racing. The steward said it was not within the rules, and that's why they dropped him. But he gets a chance to do it all again from pole position today. But Keegan Masters is alongside him. We know how quick he is. And then Marcus Armand and Alex Tauscher will be taking the fight to the front row. Chester Kiefer, another outstanding qualifying. Rookie pole has Theo Overhaus alongside him. And on row 4 of the grid, Dirk Schutten, pretty happy with his performance, has Mathias Ferreira alongside, and they could well be danger men from there. Daniel Rose, Gustav Bergström, and all Swedish row 5 of the grid. 2 drivers that just get on with it. Joe Warhurst, Sam Yongyan, 2 of the talent pool drivers are on row 6. There's Jonas Greif, local driver, good quality from him. Another talent pool driver, Caleb Sumich from Australia, lines up alongside him. Alex Sawyer, his results yesterday do not reflect his pace, and Wouter Borkamps, he was thoroughly disappointed with how he did yesterday. Could not get the pace out of the car. Nick Ho, Louis Perot as well. just struggling to find the setup here. Dylan Yip, Max Muschlechner on row 10 of the grid, then on row 11, Gianluca Tucciaroglu and Gus Burton, who will be looking to make good progress from 22nd on the grid. Sebastian Freimuth had a racing rather forget yesterday. Alexandra Vatova also on row 12. Niels Langeveld, he's another one I spoke to this morning, was not happy with the pace of the car. He's got Søren Spreng alongside him. He's the pole sitter for the Pro-Ams. Monty Masson a long way back because he had damage to his original car in practice earlier this week. And Mikael Esman, Ahmed Al-Shihab next up for the Pro-Ams as well, bringing up the rear of the grid. So it is a field packed with talent from front to back. This is the Lausitzring, a circuit that is bumpy, that lacks grip, which uses part of the massive tri-oval, but is very narrow in other places. It's 3.4 kilometers around. It has 12 turns, 7 to the left and 5 to the right. And for the more observant of you, you will have noticed that the cars are running quite unusually in an anti-clockwise direction. It's not a direction that we're used to heading in, but it's all a challenge, and it's the same for all the drivers. This bumpy surface, this intense heat, this is man and machine versus the elements as well. This is going to be sweaty, hot, and exciting. One moment to catch your breath, and then our eyes turn to the lights because we are getting ready for race 10 of the season. Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland is go here at the Lausitzring. Keegan Masters, a good start alongside Flint Schuring. Resumption of yesterday's battle. Masters with the nose in front. Schuring, and then that's Marcus Armand drifting around the corner. There was a bit of contact there. Armand is swallowed up by the pack. There is a car pointing in the wrong direction. I think that's Max Muschlechner. Yes, it is. Out of turn 1, always a controversial corner. And Chester Kiefer as well, his weekend going from bad to worse. Championship leader Alex Tausch has picked up a position there. It was a scruffy start. It was a drag race. I think Keegan Masters was quickest out of the blocks. Flint Schuring almost made it past into turn 1, but Masters had his nose in. Yesterday's winner trying to make it 2 out of 2. The rest of the cars now steaming around the track is Masters from Schuring, from Tauscher, Theo Overhaus. A great start from Mathieu Ferreira as well in the 27 car. He's in the queue there. Keep an eye on Daniel Rose. He's quick. Good start from Sam Yongyan. Marcus Armand has recovered just behind Yongyan. There's Caleb Sumich going wheel to wheel with Wouter Burkans. Armand once again having a scruffy moment through the corner. The rest of the drivers requiring courage to keep their foot buried on it through the sandstorm. I think that was Jonas Greif drifting around the corner in the background. He's kept it all together. This is edge-of-the-seat stuff for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Out of turn 12 onto the tri-oval. They will come along the pit straight. They'll be able to fan out as wide as they want, but you can only get them through 2 abreast at best into turn 1. And it's Keegan Masters who leads the way. Flint Schuring in that second place. There's a car. That's Louis Perrault. It looked like he was going slowly, but I think he was just taking a different line into that turn 1. Here they come, into 1 and 2. The rest of the pack streaming through. So Sam Yongyan, yesterday's rookie winner, is once again leading for the rookies in 7th place. Mikael Esman has got past Søren Spreng, so he's leading in the Pro-Ams. Look at that start. So Flint Schuring cutting across to the left as soon as the lights went out. He knew exactly what he was trying to do, but Masters had got the better start, I think. And then it was Kiefer who got together with Marcus Armand, and Dirk Schuten getting caught out on the outside of that lot as well. He was just on the wide outside in the purple car, but look how close this was into turn 1. And Armand did very well to keep it pointing in the right direction. So Keegan Masters getting the better on that turn 1. That's a wild ride around for Marcus Armand. And he did very well indeed to keep the car on the track. And I wonder whether the steering or whether any part of the car might be bent, because Chester Kiefer gave that left front wheel quite a clump as he was sideways across the traffic. It's classic Lausitzring turn 1. Trying to get into that first corner, bang, and it was onto the rear wheel first, then the front wheel, and I'm wondering whether Armand is going to have problems there, whether he can survive or not, because he's down in 27th position at the moment, so I think there may be damage for the number 99 car. So 2 of the 3 protagonists in yesterday's epic battle. BTW, if you haven't seen that, go check it out, because that was where this fight started. And there was that thump from Chester Kiefer, the Luxembourgian driver, just in the middle of the pack. Everybody tries to make up places. The opening lap is your best opportunity to gain and lose. On board with Joe Warhurst, and you can see he is laser focused. That's all that's happening in front of him. He works his way past Chester Kiefer. He can see Jonas Greif in front of him there at that point. And there was Chester Kiefer exploring downtown Dresden. He's able to rejoin, but he is going to be a long way back as well. And as I suspected, Marcus Armand into the pits. His weekend is done. Right, well, while we're looking at that, I'm going to look away from the screen briefly. Chester Kiefer is down in 29th position and in the pits as well. He's not showing on the timing screen. Yeah, he is, so I think that's Chester Kiefer. So this has been a miserable weekend for the rookie points leader. Sam Yongyan will see this as an opportunity to get to the top of the rookie points. So here come the cars along the pit straight. Right, gather yourselves together, everybody. This is another 25 minutes of this, and this is going to be intense. Keegan Masters, Flint Schuring is not just about who's got the pace in the car. It's going to be about who can look after those valuable diamonds on each corner of the car, the Michelin rubber. Who can make those last all the way to the checkered flag in this heat? How much dare they take out of the tyres this early on in the race? What kind of price will you pay later on? So Masters at the moment with track position. Flint Schuring looking the quicker of the two. He is the quickest in Sector 1 at the moment. He's going to struggle to improve on that while Masters is there. He looks to the outside into turn 8. Mathieu Ferreira bearing down on Theo Overhaus. Alex Tauscher in a solid 3rd position at the moment. You can see Mathieu Ferreira making adjustments. You can see the speeds and the gears. Great graphics here as we look at Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. The rest of the cars filing around turn 10 and 11. Now this is the opportunity that Flint Schuring might need. He's out onto the pit straight. He's picking up a slipstream. Out of turn 12 they come in towards turn 1. Is Flint Schuring going to have a look to the outside, to the inside? It is the inside. Under braking. Can he slow it down? Masters has the momentum. Sweeps around the outside. Flint Schuring will be mindful of the fact this was the corner where he had a problem last time, and our Pro-Am leader has received 3 penalty laps for causing a collision with Max Mutschlechner. So that will be Mikael Essmann, who will have to visit the penalty box 3 times. That is going to drop him absolutely stone last as Flint Schuring now back to the inside, coming off the tri-oval. This time he has the line. He gives the squeeze to Keegan Masters, but gives him plenty of room on the outside. Alex Tauscher in 3rd place sees his opportunity. Now involved 1, 2, 3 all together, as was the case yesterday. Theo Overhaus not quite close enough to get involved, but now Alex Tauscher challenging his main championship rival, Flint Schuring, on the outside. They will come into turn 8, trying to go the wide way, long way around. Alex Tauscher can't quite make it stick, and his contact with Flint Schuring. Both cars locking together. Tauscher getting airborne. Looks like they're both going to be able to rejoin, but Tauscher a long way back, and Flint Schuring is going to struggle to recover. Tauscher into the pit lane. High drama. There is Flint Schuring stranded in the gravel. His day is done. He's not going to be going anywhere from there. We may well need a safety car. This is a gift for Keegan Masters. He's able to break clear. Theo Overhaus up into 2nd place. Mathieu Ferreira into 3rd place. Daniel Rose into, and there's Alex Tauscher going straight on. Yes, it is Alex Tauscher going straight on in that corner. So all sorts of drama for our championship leader. So that's into turn 1. Tauscher, I think, has got some issues as a result. I think the 2 cars potentially locked together, the way they both went darting off into the gravel. But Flint Schuring, Alex Tauscher, 1-2 in the championship. Neither of them are going to score any meaningful points today. Let's have another look here. Tauscher on the outside was trying to go the long way around. Theo Overhaus, Mathieu Ferreira was in there as well. Safety car is out. A 5-car battle. Tauscher then got a wheel onto the dirt, lost the back end. I think Flint Schuring will feel quite hard done by there. The two cars getting together, and I think just the momentum that Tauscher was carrying meant that both cars were propelled off into towards the gravel trap. You can see there, and I think Scheuring did well to keep the car on all four wheels in the end, because he went up high. No, look how airborne Alex Tauscher got as well. Knowing Alex Tauscher, that would not have been anything deliberate whatsoever. And the two drivers just fighting hard. It's what we like in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland, but it's not the result that we wanted. So it's been investigated by the stewards, but any investigation is going to be fairly meaningless because both cars are effectively out of the race. So there it was. I think Scheuring did try to shut the door on Tauscher. It was good, hard racing, and Tauscher almost got it through the gravel trap, and if he'd been able to go a few feet further, would have possibly been able to rejoin, but it would have been a long way back anyway. That was the view from Maciej Ferreira. He's like, I will have both of those places, thank you very much, and that's exactly what he did. So the safety car is out. I think that is to clear the track, and I think just to give the drivers an opportunity just to cool down a little bit as well. So it'll be reduced speed, single file, of course. So with all of that done and dusted, you can see that if the race finished now, the points leader would be Theo Overhaus with Keegan Masters just 1 point adrift. And our championship leader coming into this race, Alex Tauscher, would be 8 points back, and Flint Scheuring 16 points back in fourth place. How quickly things can change in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Out of the car gets Alex Tauscher, and well, he clearly is very frustrated by what has occurred. And he may well say, looking at the replays, that he felt as though Flint didn't give him enough space. The stewards will take a look at it, and we had this yesterday where people agree, people disagree with penalties that the stewards might issue, but they have angles on this that we don't have, and a big hug there to Alex Tauscher, because he will be pretty distraught about that. Right, let's have a look here again, and he will say that Scheuring had drifted wide out of that corner and taken him off the track. He tried to get back on, and the two cars then coming together. Flint will probably argue that he'd given enough space, and as I say, the stewards have angles on this that we don't have. When you walk around the circuit, a good bit of aerobatics there from Alex Tauscher. I think you're meant to do that in a Porsche. The stewards will have angles. When you walk around the circuit, you see cameras, all sorts of angles, and the number of times you can look at things on a YouTube stream and you'll go, oh yeah, that was his fault, but then you see the angle that the stewards have and you realise that actually different angles, different perspectives. They will look at that long and hard. It's Lukas Stegner, who is the race director, aided by 2005 champion Christian Menzel and Christoph Maischak as well. A lot of wisdom amongst those three people, and they want to make sure the decisions are right. They always do, and they're unbiased, and they will look at that and they will decide if there are any further penalties to be awarded. At the moment, Keegan Masters has all the cards on the table in front of him, to mix the metaphors, and is ready to go. Can he make it 2 wins out of 2 this weekend? Well, Theo Overhaus and Maciej Ferreira would dearly love to change that plan. They are the 1, 2, 3. We are getting back to racing here with 18 minutes plus 1 lap of racing remaining. Keegan Masters has made a good start there. Theo Overhaus for ID Racing has not really anticipated it as well as he might have done, and could well be finding himself vulnerable to Maciej Ferreira at this stage of the race. Again, reminding you, keeping the tyres cool and in the window is critical as well, as we see Gianluca Tucciaroglu up into 13th place at the moment. There's Louis Perrault just ahead of him. Nick Ho in 11th place, a good job from him. Jonas Greif in 10th place, a solid showing from Jonas Greif, the driver from Dresden, just down the road from here. So here come the rest of the cars, getting as close as they dare to the turn 5 wall. That wall is very solid and doesn't move, so it takes a lot of courage to drift out wide there. So 17 minutes remaining. to remind you, Mikael Esman has been awarded those 3 visits to the penalty box as a result of contact. And that was the collision that saw Max Muschleckner spun around. And that will be significant in the Pro-Am Championship because Esman was leading the Pro-Am Championship coming into this race. It promotes Søren Spreng into the Pro-Am lead and Ahmed Al-Shihab in second, Esman in third. That's 22nd, 23rd, 24th respectively. That's Alexandra Vatova, who's had a bit of a wild ride there. She rejoins. So I don't know what's happened there. That's just heading in towards turn 11. So what's happened there? She's got 2 wheels on the dirt, right across the front of Montego Masson. And that would have been a wild moment for him. Monty, who had damaged the car that he was driving in testing, and is in a spare car for this race, so he would wonder whether it was going to be 2 out of 2 there. It looks like Alexandra's all okay and is able to rejoin, albeit at the back now. Joe Warhurst, Jonas Greif, Nick Ho, all fighting for position. So this is for 9th place at the moment. Warhurst is in 9th. Up ahead of him is Caleb Sumich. So Warhurst will be quite happy that Jonas Greif and Nick Ho are going wheel to wheel, the 2 GP Elite cars. And there's another car going very wide. That was Daniel Rosa, I think, picking up the dirt, throwing it into the faces of the cars behind him. Dirk Schouten in 6th place. Wouter Burkamps up to 7th place. That's an astonishing. He started a long way back on the grid. So Wouter has really capitalised well on all that's been going on in front of him. Half the trick is staying out of trouble, letting people fight it out in front and then sailing through. Well, at the moment, Burkamp's in 7th place, Caleb Sumich in 8th place. So that would be a really good job from him if he could stay there. That would be his best ever finish. At the moment, Keegan Masters leads the way, but now Theo Overhaus has closed the gap up. 0.392 is the gap when they cross the line. So Overhaus now within striking distance of the race leader as we pass the halfway point of this race. In 3rd place, Matheus Ferreira, itching to get back onto the podium, looking for his first ever win. There's the 36 car of Alex Sawyer, the driver from Vietnam. Really good to have him here. He's normally seen in Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, currently 7th in their championship, coming here for a little bit of extra practice. And Niels Langeveld, I thought he was coming in to visit us there. But Alex Sawyer, really good to have him here. And there's Mikael Esman. Oh, it's going to feel like a long 15 minutes. He's passing through the penalty box once again. Has to pass through that at a speed of no more than 60 kilometers an hour. It's a 50-meter box. It's the equivalent to adding about 5 seconds on to the lap time. Monty Masson and Dylan Yip, 6 and 66. A couple of the rookies going wheel to wheel. Dylan Yip from Hong Kong has shown a great turn of speed in various races throughout the year. 11th place has been his best finish so far this season. That was at the Red Bull Ring back in April. At the moment, Dylan Yip is in 17th, so not really troubling the top 10 as we speak, but with 13.5 minutes remaining, still plenty more to come from these gladiators in the arena, the Lausitzring. Alex Sawyer with Sebastian Freimuth, a driver who's done a fair few races over the years in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. In fact, for Freimuth, this is his 78th start in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. And he currently going wheel to wheel with a driver making his debut this weekend. So all sorts of different levels of experience. Just because he's making his debut doesn't mean Alex Sawyer's not a useful peddler, because we know he is very quick. We've already seen him in Formula 4 Southeast Asia, where he won the championship last year. We've seen him in Frecker. We'd love to see him back again in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. I do hope he returns. He's currently substituting for Sam Yongyan, who's taking care of World Superbike business back at the Bend in Australia. But we're looking forward to seeing Sam back as well very shortly. Right, Keegan Masters has Theo Overhaus turning the heat up like it's not hot enough already. And I would just point out, in the cockpits of these cars, we have temperatures in the region of 60, 65, maybe even 70 degrees centigrade. This is a test of man and machine versus the elements. Keegan Masters is on top at the moment, but Theo Overhaus, the driver who won twice at the season opener, has not won again since then, is looking to steal away that lead and extend what could potentially be a championship lead when the checkered flag falls on this race. You can see at the moment, fastest man on the track is Dirk Schouten in 5th place. I spoke to Dirk briefly yesterday and he was just, yeah, do you know what? I'm really happy with where we're going. The looping by Cartec car is showing a really good turn of speed, while many drivers have struggled with a setup here at the Lausitzring this weekend. Dirk was like, do you know what? Feel like we're making really solid progress, but in front of him he's got the Team Proton 88 car of Daniel Roos from Sweden, and Daniel, another driver who's just steadily getting better and better. So that is the battle for 4th place, Daniel Roos and Dirk Schouten, and while those two are fighting, that's allowing the 3 in front to break clear. Behind them, Sam Yongyan and Wouter Burkamp. So 3 Dutch drivers together. They weren't out celebrating too late last night, I don't suppose. We did have the Netherlands game on in the Porsche Hospitality yesterday, but we're more interested in Carrera Cup racing. And across the line they come, the 1, 2, 3, Masters, Overhaus and Ferreira. Then this battle here for 4th place. Daniel Roos, Dirk Schouten, Sam Yongyan. Then a bit of a gap back to Wouter Burkamps. So the fight continues in the intense heat here at the Lausitzring. So now Schouten taking a low line there. Has he got a problem? Dirk Schouten, no, he's just taking a different line through the corner. So I thought for one moment he might have had a problem, but Sam Yongyan has taken advantage there to get in front. Oh, and that is why, incorrect overtaking. That's just popped up on the screen. So it's not a problem for Dirk Schouten. So the race directors once again getting involved, deciding that the move that Dirk Schouten had originally made on Sam Yongyan was not a good move. Have asked him to drop back, and in so doing, he's lost a bit of momentum and into the clutches of Wouter Burkamps. Now, Wouter Burkamps currently in 7th place. He started 16th on the grid and was saying he had no setup for this track, did not have the pace. Well, he's proving otherwise. You cannot say Wouter without saying wow, and wow indeed, as he's up to 7th place, but he's got the fastest man on the track, Dirk Schouten, just ahead of him, but Sam Yongyan breaking clear. The 1, 2, 3 at the front is heating up with 9¼ minutes remaining on race 10 of a 16-race season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Keegan Masters took his first win yesterday. Can he make it 2 out of 2? Can he hold off Theo Overhaus, who took that back-to-back win in the opening 2 races of the season? Or will Mathieu Ferreira be another first-time winner in that 3rd place at the moment, but very much within striking distance of the leaders? He's about 1 second back from Keegan Masters. That's your 1, 2, 3. Then we're back to Daniel Roos in the 88 car. Sam Yongyan leading for the rookies just behind Daniel Roos. Dirk Schouten with all the hard work to do again. Ferreira looking to put the pressure now onto Theo Overhaus. So for my money, of the 3 of them, Ferreira starting to look a little bit dangerous. There's Gianluca Tucciaroglu in the number 91 car. He's in 12th place, another driver who's due a good result. He got his best result of the season so far yesterday. It was 11th place, and a 12th place today would be good progress from what has been a fairly bruising season so far for him. But he's got Nick Ho ahead of him, another of the rookies. Nick's best finish of the season so far was a 9th place at the Red Bull Ring. He's another driver who's due a bit of good luck, I think. Daniel Roos at the front of that queue, maybe not quite with as much pace as the 3 in front of him. You can see quite a big snake of cars lining up behind. This could all explode at any minute. Keegan Masters looks to have things under control. Look how close to the wall Mathieu Ferreira got coming out of turn 5. All in a day's work. You can see how bumpy the track is. Drivers having to be really careful, particularly heading into turn 6 where the track is especially bumpy. but Weissach Package just looks to be able to position that car pretty well wherever he wants. Matteo Overhaus, the more experienced of the two. Of course, Teo, who was the Porsche Junior last year, now having to defend quite hard. That allows Keegan Masters to break clear about 7/10 between first and second. The drivers constantly at work, steering, adjusting brake balance, thinking ahead. Daniel Rose, a fairly distant fourth place now. Sam Yongyan, the leader of the rookies. Behind him, Dirk Schuiten, then Wouter Borkamps, then the Australian Caleb Sumich, then the UK driver Joe Warhurst, Jonas Greif rounding out the top 10. I think Jonas would be pretty happy with that. His best ever finish has been 11th place. He's done that twice, and that was last year. So if Jonas Greif can finish in the top 10, that will be his best ever finish in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Jonas, who has so many sponsors, 130 different sponsors to be precise, and they're all listed on the number 4 car. Needs to teach me a few things about business, I think. Right, here we go, back to this fight for 5th place overall. Sam Yongyan leading for the rookies. Second of the rookies is Caleb Sumich. Now, what Sam Yongyan doesn't want to do is throw it all away, trying to fend off Dirk Schuiten, who is not in the hunt for rookie points, clearly. Yongyan needs to make his decisions. He's in 5th place overall at the moment. His best ever finish has been a 5th place, and that was at Imola on the season opener. So he would equal his best ever finish in the overall race. If you're new to Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland, we have the overall race, we have the rookies. They are denoted by the orange boxes around their numbers. We have the Pro-Ams denoted by the blue boxes. And within each category, the drivers will get maximum points. So for a win in the rookies, it will be 25 points. For second in the rookies, 20 points. And then they also score points in the overall championship. And in that overall championship, coming into this race, it was Alex Tauscher, but it's not going to be if things remain exactly as they are now, because Keegan Masters leads the way. Early championship leader, Teo Overhaus, running out of time and ideas to get past the number 3 machine, because if he makes a challenge and it doesn't work, Weissach Package will be through. At the moment, Weissach looking for his 2nd ever podium. Look how close Dirk Schuiten is. 3 Dutch drivers all glued together. Sam Yongyan 5th, Schuiten 6th, Borkamp 7th, then a little gap back to Caleb Sumich. I said there was a gap back to him, but in fact, Caleb now rushing to join this battle as well. Sam Yongyan, to remind you, struggling with health. The second half of this race will be a massive challenge for him. He will be working incredibly hard within the cockpit to stay alert, to keep himself together, fending off all the attention from behind. Dirk Schuiten, who's looking hungry. Wouter Borkamps, we know how quick he is and how quick he can be. He will see an opportunity to jump up and get himself well and truly back into the championship hunt. Caleb Sumich behind them in 8th place. Joe Warhurst still looking for his podium, and he would dearly love to get in front of these cars. At the moment, everything remaining as it was, but remember the race yesterday. It was in the last couple of minutes where it all kicked off. At the moment, Masters in control. And along the pit straight, we will come once again. Borkamps has a little look inside towards Schuiten, but nothing going on here at the moment. Schuiten almost pushing Sam Yongyan into turn 1. The sweat will be pouring from the drivers. Nick Ho in the background. That is with Gianluca Tucharoglu. So Tucharoglu now up into 11th place, equaling his best ever finish in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Behind him is Louis Perrault in 13th place in the number 77 car. Gus Burton is in 14th place, so has made good progress to be back into the points. He's there in the light blue and white number 57 car. Again, another of the many drivers who are frustrated, not able to find a setup and find a pace for this, a fairly unique and tricky circuit. There's Yongyan at the front of that queue, not really in touch with Daniel Rose in 4th place, so maybe 5th is as good as it's going to get at the moment for Sam Yongyan, because time's starting to run out. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Keegan Masters, 9/10 of a second clear. Teo Overhaus, Weissach Package there as well. These cars all identical, so just getting past is more than the work of a moment. Right, out across the line they come again. This time Masters has opened up the gap a little to just over a second. Ferreira is well in contact with Theo Overhaus. Are we going to see a challenge, or is the 1-2-3 exactly as you see on screen? We will find out in 2 minutes and 10 seconds plus 1 lap. In the Pro-Am, Zoran Spreng leads Ahmed Al-Shihab. Spreng in 21st place, Al-Shihab in 22nd. Mikael Esman, as a result of those 3 trips to the penalty box, is a long way back in 24th place. Here comes Daniel Roos once again, 4th place, looking solid there at the moment, but it all could still kick off with 1 minute and 3/4 of timed racing remaining. This is a great job from Daniel Roos in the 88 car. His best finish up until now was a 9th place this year at Zandvoort. So Daniel Roos, he had a 7th place last year at Zandvoort, but this would still be his best ever finish by some stretch if he can bring it home in 4th place. And there's nothing to suggest that he won't, because we now have 1 1/4 minutes remaining. So effectively, it's going to be about 2 laps, because our leader currently now heading out across the start-finish line. So this lap, and then 1 more to conclude race 10 of the season. Keegan Masters took his debut win yesterday. Has always been there or thereabouts, a pre-championship favourite. Took that first win, took a long time to come. He was wondering if it was ever going to come. He's a 2-time Carrera Cup Italia champion, consistently scoring points, but it was yesterday before he could stand on the top step as we look at Montego Masson and Dylan Yip continuing their race-long battle. Masson with a wheel on the dirt, drops in behind Dylan Yip in the number 6 car. Dylan, who yesterday finished 3rd in the rookies. So it was his 2nd ever podium in the rookie race. At the moment, the 1-2-3 in the rookies is Sumic, Jongjan, Sumic and Ho. So Nick Ho would be in 3rd, and that's Niels Langeveld. The number 10 car was struggling with handling, down in 20th place, and now any chance of any points are definitely gone as he's pointing in the wrong direction. The clock strikes at 0 now, so about just over 1 lap remaining as we look at the menacing skies. I don't think we're going to get any rain. I think there's a few tense faces in the Proton competition garage. They have prepared a rocket ship this weekend, and Keegan Masters has put it to good use. He's seen his main rivals all eliminate each other, and now he leads the way by 1.3 seconds. Theo Overhaus no longer challenging for the lead, but now defending from Mathieu Ferreira, who wants to move up a step on the podium as his best ever finish. The 1-2-3 looking solid. Also 4th place Daniel Roos. The fight for 5th place, Sam Jongjan still holding on there to equal his best ever finish. Dirk Schouten still with the fastest lap of the race. That was back on lap 4, showing how much pace he's got. Wouter Bordekamps with the chance through the pack ahead of Caleb Sumic and Joe Warhurst. Jonas Greif rounding out the top 10. Then Gianluca Tucharoglu. 3rd place in the rookies will be Nick Ho in 12th place overall. And into the pits comes Niels Langeveld as the car's now on their final lap. It's in towards turn 8 for Keegan Masters, our race leader. But Langeveld, what has been a miserable weekend, he'll be pleased to leave the Lausitzring and refocus in time for the Norrisring in a couple of weeks' time. It is the final lap of the race, and Keegan Masters is into turn 11 and now heading up towards turn 12. The South African has been so close for so long. He took his first ever win yesterday and is going to be back-to-back wins for the man in black. Keegan Masters is now a 2-times winner in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. A massive points haul for him, and also for Theo Overhaus and Mathieu Ferreira. Ferreira scoring his 2nd ever podium in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland, blowing the championship wide open once again. And a best ever finish for Daniel Roos in 4th place. And the rookie winner, with all the odds stacked against him, Sam Jongjan once again wins in the rookies. His 3rd rookie and Wookie win of the season. Dirk Schouten with a 6th place, a solid drive from Dirk Schutten, equaling his best ever finish in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. And what a charge from Wow to Borkamps in 7th place, ahead of Caleb Sumich. A solid drive for Caleb Sumich as well in 8th place overall. And that was Caleb's best ever finish in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. So there is the classification. Subject to confirmation, I don't see anything on my timing screen that would indicate that that might change. So I think we're reasonably solid. Famous last words. You can see the rest of the positions scrolling through. 2 excellent races here at the Lausitzring. Controversial with Alex Tauscher and Flint Schuring getting together, and Marcus Armand also getting damaged. 3 of the main championship contenders, along with Chester Kiefer as well, recording non-finishes. And that really does open up the championship. Matheus Ferreira, with that 3rd place, keeps himself in touch with the championship contenders. One of the talent pool drivers, a former talent pool driver, Theo Overhaus, and also last year's Porsche Junior. Another solid score. The ID racing car really suiting him. He is with that team and has bedded in so well with them. But nobody today was ever going to live with Keegan Masters for Proton Competition, the South African, taking 2 wins out of 2 here at the Lausitzring. So by my calculations, that position for Theo Overhaus scores him 25 points, and I believe takes him to 163, 13 points clear of Alex Tauscher. Oh, well, there's on the screen for me. There we go. Oh, 8 according to that. All right, well, my calculations are always a bit iffy. Well, I'm pleased someone else is doing it. So there we go on the screen. Theo Overhaus 1 point clear of, and 8 clear of Tauscher. Yes, of course, Keegan Masters, though, with that win, launching himself well and truly back into the championship hunt. The reason why I'm not an accountant. There's Marcus Armand, who is going to be feeling fairly miserable after what was a traumatic race. Congratulating the sister car driver, Keegan Masters, on that win. Yesterday, Keegan crossed the line in 2nd place and was awarded the win after a post-race penalty was awarded. Today, he showed that it was no fluke, crossing the line in 1st place and holding on to that 1st place. There's Theo Overhaus, still reeling from that emotional win at Monaco a couple of weeks ago. And leading the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup standings. Would love to make it a back-to-back championship, but he's going to have to beat this man, Keegan Masters. His scores this season: 3rd, 2nd, 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 a non-finish, 8th, 4th, 6th, 1st, 1st. It's consistency that wins championships, not just race wins. Consistency is what we've seen from Alex Tauscher. He's finished in the top 5 in every race this season up until now, but that non-finish is going to hurt his championship chances significantly, and he's going to have to regather himself for the next round. And the next round is something entirely different, because in 2 weeks' time, we will be gathering in the streets of Nuremberg for the Nürburgring. If you've never witnessed the Nürburgring, do not miss it. It is something quite spectacular. If you ever wanted to see Carrera Cup on an oval, well, this is about as close as you're ever going to get. Only 4 corners through the streets, up against the barriers. Very different surfaces, concrete, tarmac, bumpy, drain covers, you name it. It is a unique experience. We always have a massive crowd. Well over 100,000 people will be there to witness it. And the drivers will require skill and luck to score points there. And it could be another 2 races that turns this championship even further on its head. But in the meantime, our focus is still here at the Lausitzring as we get ready for our race winners to head up onto the podium in this glorious sunshine. Big crowd gathering here, part of the DTM platform once again. We're with the DTM all the way through to the end of the year now. Unbelievably, this weekend is the first German round for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland, and we remain in Germany for the rest of the season now. As Keegan Masters celebrates, didn't quite make it onto the roof of the car. It's quite dangerous up there. Also very hot and sweaty, I think. And Proton Competition, the team that have reformed and very much reorganized themselves over the winter, showing that they have lost none of their expertise, preparing an absolute rocket ship. The Schumacher CLRT cars, well, neither of them finishing the race. That will be real bad news for the team there at Schumacher CLRT. And they will want to bounce back from that as soon as possible in a couple of weeks' time. There's Weissach Package, great guy from Brazil, always good for a laugh, but still wants to get on that top step of the podium. He's equaled his best ever finish. He got a third place all the way back in May at Spa-Francorchamps, and it was always going to be a regular podium visitor. We saw him in Porsche Sprint Challenge Southern Europe originally, where he's had a couple of wins over the last couple of years. Made the decision to swap from single-seater Formula racing, it was in Italian Formula 4 originally, towards GT racing, and it's proven to be a really good show. And now he steps onto the podium, representing Brazil. No, the other... Oh. Now there he is, onto the podium. He gets the flag was on the wrong side. Now he's there. And Weissach, we'll see, Theo Overhaus for Germany, onto the second step, launching himself back to the top of the championship standings. Theo Overhaus leading both Carrera Cup Germany and Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup Championships. But the man who's on a mission, coming through from South Africa, he's now got the momentum, and it's 2 wins out of 2 for Keegan Masters. So Proton Competition will send, I believe, Bruno Roman, subject to confirmation. No, it was someone different. My list is wrong. Okay, well, hello, Linus. Welcome to the podium. So he will represent Proton Competition and receive the trophy on behalf of the team. Very proud moment for them. But before that, it will be the national anthem. That's a lovely national anthem, that is, isn't it? Very uplifting, and carrying the South African flag. I don't know what they're doing in South Africa at the moment. We've got so many talented race drivers coming out of there. Of course, the Van der Lindes, the likes of Leighton Fury as well. And now Keegan Masters has already dominated the Carrera Cup Italia Championship. Brazilian Weissach Package receives his trophy from Guido Kuchera, the chairman of the board of managing directors of Dekra. There's Torsten Rucker, Porsche Deutschland project manager, customer sport, works very long hours to organise this series along with his excellent team. And then Guido will present that winning trophy to Keegan Masters. Hope he's got lots of space in his luggage back to South Africa, because he's got 2 trophies to take back with him after this weekend, and are the 2 biggest trophies available. And And another one for Proton Competition, who works so hard to prepare great cars. And their reward is the top step of the podium. So before the Schumacher champagne is sprayed everywhere, a quick moment for the cameras. And then anyone who has any sense at all will run for cover. This is going to taste incredibly sweet for Keegan Masters. Never mind the photographer, just get on with it. Okay, here we go then. The celebrations start. There's a new kid on the block. His name is Keegan Masters. 2 wins out of 2 here at the Lausitzring. How is he going to handle the challenge in a fortnight? Something entirely different. Join us on the streets of Nuremberg at the Norrisring in a fortnight's time. Do not miss it for anything. It will be spectacular. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.